Hello everyone, welcome to the 11th video of the Data Analytics and Visualization series. I hope for the first 10 videos, we would have been able to see different types of graphs. We've covered violin plots, box plots. We've also covered the dplyr package, which is one of the most interesting packages, which helps us transform data. It helps us put simple functions like filter, create new columns, sort them in a particular order, summarize data based on different statistical attributes. I hope the journey so far has been interesting. In this particular video, we're going to look at how to create a plain vanilla histogram, and we'll just try and play around with some of the subtle aspects of that histogram. So let's get started. Right. So on line number 267, you have the most plain vanilla histogram plot ever made. Right. I'll just show it to you. So if you look at this, what you see on the y-axis is the count, which is the number of observations, right? So in any histogram, there are two aspects. One is the number of times it repeats, and on the x-axis, what you will see is the variables that you would have called out. So you are actually trying to look you're trying to look a numerical variable, right, which is the highway miles per gallon here. And because it's a numerical variable, it will have different values. It will have a minimum value and it will have a maximum value. And through a histogram, you're just trying to see how the data is spread across that range from minimum to maximum, right? So you can see that most of the mileages are specifically between 15 and somewhere close to 30. You see a big spike somewhere just after 25, maybe it's 26 or 27. I think it's 27. So it just gives you a proper distribution, right? So histogram is just to understand discrete distribution if you've got a numerical variable. So I hope this is pretty straightforward. We are using the MPG database as we have been using so far. To recap, it's a database of different types of cars and their different types of attributes, numerical and categorical both, right? So that was your histogram. You just use geom histogram and then open and close parenthesis. It does that. It does it for you, right? Now, just to get a little more into how you can use some of the arguments, right? Let me just quickly run the next code. So what you see here is, now it's not that plain vanilla. You don't see a gray box. Here we have tried to control the bin width, which is essentially the width of the histogram. I'm not sure if you can do this in an Excel sheet, but in a ggplot, in a histogram which is done on our ggplot, it's easy to manipulate a few things, right? So here you can select the width of, or you can control the width of this histogram. You can select the border of each of these lines. You can select what goes inside, which color goes inside, so on and so forth, right? So it's a straightforward thing. You can say bin width is equal to 1. You can say fill is equal to 1 depending on what color you want, and color is for the border, right? Color is equal to white. Now if I were to increase this, and let's see what happens. So you see, right, it automatically, instead of giving you more number of bars, it has just automatically adjusted the width, and it is now giving you bigger ranges, right? So I think the range is somewhere between it looks like the bin width is actually looking at 5 miles per gallon, right? So that's the width it's going to repeat. So that's the dynamic part of it, right? The moment you set a bin width, it will automatically adjust to the numerical value of your x-axis, and then give you a distribution accordingly. Now, all this is good. We are just going to wind this up with one of the other graphs, and you don't need to be too much worried about it. All that we are trying to do is, again, we are calling the ggplot package mpg dataset, and here in the x-axis. Now, that's what you need to remember. In most of the other plots, you had a y-axis as well, but in histogram, you're just going to have an x-axis, right? So here you're calling the x-axis. And then in geom histogram, you're going to say that x is equal to HWY, which is the highway miles per gallon, and in the y-axis, you're just going to call it dot dot density dot dot. Now I'll tell you why this is done, right? So here, instead of getting a count, you're actually doing a density plot, and we'll cover density plot in the next video. Uh, but I mean, the density plot is just like an alternative to a histogram. It just tells you how the plot is done, right? And the moment you do this, you can continue to use the same arguments that you had before. You can control bin width, what color goes inside, what color goes on the border. And if you look at the 276 line, we are just, I mean, in this complex set of code, what seemingly looks like complex, what you're trying to do is you're just trying to draw a curve across this histogram, and it is a normal distribution curve. We'll cover what normal distribution is specifically in one of the subsequent videos, but just think of it like so if you take a normal database, and if you see data spread across spread across all the different values that it has, you will see that most of the data is very closer to the mean, right? And it then tapers off as the values go further away from the mean. So that's a normal distribution curve. We'll go through in detail what a specific bell curve or a normal distribution curve is, like how data is spread across mean, how many standard deviations, like what are the intervals for different types of standard deviation. We'll cover that subsequently. But this is just to prove that you can use a stat function, which is the function that we have looked at in earlier videos also, and pass on a fun function. And here you are creating a function x, and that function, I mean, this is a function x, which will help you write almost any value. So you can put a square root or a square or a simple x a is equal to, y is equal to x ax plus b kind of a function, right? So in this case, what you're trying to do is you're using the denorm function, which is a normal distribution function, and x stands for anything, all the values in that column. You're going by the mean of the highway column and the standard deviation of the highway column, right? And you're going to give it a color red. So you don't need to be too worried about this line, but all that I wanted to try and show you here is you can plot different types of curves on top of histogram. And I'm not sure if this is possible on an Excel sheet. So I hope you found this interesting. This is a fairly simple video on how to draw a quick histogram and control different aspects of a histogram. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.